Hey guys, this is gonna be quick. I have a freaking headache. I've been thinking a lot about like friendships and what friendships mean to me, and like whenever I look at people's Snapchats and Instagram and stuff, I'm just like, I feel like personally, I mean, other people may view me differently, and if you do, I would like you to tell me because sometimes I'm interested to see how people view me, and I feel like everybody should be kind of interested in how people view them because you could be thinking that you're walking around this world being one way and like literally everybody views you in a totally different way, you know? It's kind of like people that think that they're being confident and they're being strong and they're like, you know, being sexy but cool, but you're really just coming off as like obnoxious and self-absorbed and full of yourself. That's kind of the vibe that I get from people. There's so many girls that I see. I'm rambling, I'm sorry, but there's so many girls that I see like on Snapchat and Instagram and even people that I've seen in person, and like they think that they are so freaking cute to the point that it's not like it's not cute. They carry themselves in a way that makes me like start to put them apart. Like if you let me know if you felt the same. Like has somebody ever like been so full of themselves that they make you start looking at their flaws, you know, like it's stuff that I would have never noticed, I would have never thought, but it's the fact that you think you're so cute. You're giving yourself way too much credit to the point that I'm starting to like pick you apart where I normally would not do that. And that's kind of how I feel about people. I feel like you need to ask people, what do you feel about me? Like close people. I'm not saying that you should care about what people think about you, but it's just interesting to see if the way that you feel like you are is being translated. So for me, I feel like I'm a pretty even keeled person. I try to be an even keeled person because that's how I feel. So I try to voice that and display that on the outside that I'm an even keeled person. By that I mean when it comes to friendships, I only want the basics in friendships. Okay? Be loyal and be honest. That's it. And by loyal, I'm not saying like, you know, go to fucking war for me or something. By loyal, I mean like, for instance, and this is why I'm saying this. I have this friend Coby. Shout out to Cobes. Me and him are dumb tight. We've been tight since high school, and I was having the worst day last week. I was having a bad day, and it was just a bunch of stuff just compounding on each other. And I was like, today freaking sucks. And on top of that, the day just felt long. It felt like it was 48 hours, 72 hours in one day. The day just kept freaking going. And it was just person after person after person trying to steal my freaking joy. You know, the devil was really trying to take over my spirit this day. And I was just like done with the day. I was so drained from the day. And he texted me and he was like, hey, miss you. And I was like, yeah. You know, normally I've had bad days when he's texted me before. Normally I just text him back. Like he would never know that I was having a bad day, but that's how bad this day was. And I can't even remember what else he said. And he was like, he said something and then he said, I miss you because we hadn't talked in a while. And I was like, that means a lot. I miss you too. I'm having a long, rough day, so that means a lot. And he was like, what's wrong? And there was so much wrong that it was so much that I didn't even feel like talking about it. I was so drained that I didn't text back. I wrote something, then I was like, I don't even really want to tell him that. Not that I don't trust him, I just didn't want to tell anybody. I didn't want to get into it. There were so many different compartments. It was just so much. So I didn't text back. And as soon as I had gotten in the house, I went straight to the bathroom, took a shower, and got in the bed. And then I woke up at like 2:30, 3 in the morning, and he had texted me again, like at 11:30, and he was like, Sid. And, you know, just seeing that text message made me feel better because it's like, you're showing that you care, you know? You're showing that you care for me. So I texted him back and I was like, you know, I'm sorry, I fell asleep. Thanks for checking in. I love you. He's like, I love you too. So that was last week. I haven't talked to him all this week, and he texted me today and he was like, how are you? And I was like, I'm good, love, thanks. Thanks for checking in. And I was like, thanks for asking. And he was like, just checking in on you. And I was like, thank you. I love you. And he was like, I love you too. And that was like the epitome. That was the epitome of all I want in a friendship. You know, that's all I want. That's all I ask for. I just want somebody to hear me. That's all I want out of a human. That's all I want from an acquaintance. That's all I want from a best friend, from a sister, to a brother, a mom, dad, cousin, whoever. If you're in my life, all I want in this world, in this life, is for somebody to hear me. And I can openly admit that that's my biggest struggle, is that I feel like nobody hears me. I feel like nobody sees me, like truly sees me. Nobody truly hears me. Like, it kind of feels like everybody's like, all through my life in every aspect, it feels like everybody's like, damn, for real, that's crazy. That's crazy. For real, that's crazy. You know, when somebody says that's crazy 3 times, that means they don't care about what you're saying. They're not listening. They're just waiting for you to finish talking. And that's how I feel all the time. Even if people don't use those words, that's how I feel, because I could literally say, I just feel empty. I feel empty. I feel like it doesn't matter whether I'm here or not. I could say that today and nobody asks me about it, you know, which makes me feel like I could kill myself today, and then y'all would all be standing over my casket talking about, how did this happen? She was such a nice girl, blah, blah, blah. But you're not going to think about those times that I disappeared, that I wasn't talking, that I was off of social media, disappeared completely, didn't give no warning. When I said I can't even put into words how non-existent I felt. You know, nobody thinks about that. And it's the fact that all anybody had to do was just send a text message and say, just checking in. You know, that text message meant everything to me, because that's all I wanted. I don't want you to sit and, you know, listen to all my worries. I don't want you to be my diary. I don't want you to, you know, talk me off the edge. I just want to cross somebody's mind and them say, I haven't talked to Sydney this week. Last time I talked to her, she wasn't seeming right. Let me just text her so she knows that I'm thinking of her. That's all I wanted. And he did that for me, so I love him. I love you, Coby. I love him, for being there, you know. I didn't have to tell him anything. I didn't have to tell him he doesn't know anything. I didn't tell him one detail, literally. And you don't know how much that can really propel somebody. And a big portion and a big part of these videos is to remind people that people are carrying so much. I know I am. I'm carrying so much that I tell my dad all the time, I can't wait until I'm 35 or 40 when I can tell him some of the things that were happening when I was in my 20s. Because right now, I'm not strong enough. I'm not strong enough to tell him all the things that have happened between 18 and now. I'm not strong enough, and I'm afraid. I'm nervous. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional. Hold on. I'm afraid of what him and my mom and my family are going to think, what they're going to feel. To be honest, without dramatic effect, and I'm not one for theatrics, especially about things like this, if I weren't so rooted in God and I wasn't level-headed even in the midst of my situation, I would have been done, just ended it, because there's been so many powerful, hard, life-changing things that have happened, and they're not things that I can leave where they're at. You know, I've given them to God. Spiritually I've given it to God, but I haven't physically, humanly given it up, and I'll be able to move forward as people come and go in my life and as I mature. But I don't think I'll never forget. It'll always stick with me. And when I get to a place when I can tell my parents that, I feel like they'll feel bad because they missed the signs. And it's only by the grace of God that I know that killing yourself, suicide, is the worst sin that you can ever make. I've made so many mistakes, and that I'll forever, because I want to be a good Christian, I'll forever be repenting for and asking for forgiveness. But I still have that chance today, you know? Every day that God gives me breath, I have a chance to repent. I have a chance to start over. I have a chance to do something better than I did before, you know? Every day that you give in life, even when somebody kills somebody, even if their life on the outside world is over, they have every day that God gives them breath behind bars to repent. It'll never be better for that family. We'll never get that life back, but they still have a chance to do something big or small. They have some chance. But when you commit suicide, that's it. You can't. You're gone. You have no chance of repenting. It's the ultimate sin to me. Other people may think different, but I think suicide is the ultimate sin because you can't take it back. Once you do it, it's gone. You cannot repent for it. Once you do it, you're gone. It's done. It's over. It's the last. That's your last act of life. You know, you have no chances to be forgiven here. You'll have to be forgiven in your judgment day when that comes, you know? So luckily I'm rooted in God, and I know that. That text message meant a lot, and that's the foundation of what I consider to be loyalty, what I consider to be a friend, and all I ask for is a friend. And I hope that people that interact with me can see that, you know? I'm sure I have friends that probably never looked at me that way, and there's probably been situations where they don't feel like I'm that type of person, but that's what person I try to be. That's what person I strive to be. All I want are simple things. And not only do all I want is simple things, all I want is just an open line of communication, you know, even if it's not necessarily simple, because every relationship is different. At the end of the day, all I want is communication, and all I want is to be reassured, which is all anybody wants, is reassurance that I'm being heard. If you hear me, then we're good. There's nothing, I have no issues whatsoever. So, that's that. I did not plan on being emotional today. I didn't think I was going to be emotional, but I was. So I'm out of here. I have a headache. I'm going to take a nap. It's a good day to be alive. Every day that you take a breath is a good day to be alive. God's willing. He's powerful. And I know he's working in me. And I'm praying he's working in all of you all as well. So I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.